Welcome, everybody. Our public council meeting for the city of Mount Pearl, July 4th, 2023. I'd like to get a motion, please, council. I see nothing outside of the agenda. Motion for the agenda moved by Councillor Rice, second by Councillor Randall. All in favor? And those opposed? That motion is carried. Council, you see before you the agenda like we just adopted, and I shall read the land's acknowledgement as we begin today's public council meeting by respectfully acknowledging the province of Newfoundland and Labrador as the ancestral homelands of many diverse populations of Indigenous peoples, including the Beothuk, who have contributed to 9,000 years of history on the island of Newfoundland. Today, this province is home to diverse populations of Indigenous and other people, and we acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit. We honor this beautiful land together as we strive for collective healing and true reconciliation. Previous meeting was 3 weeks ago, June 13th. Council, before you see the minutes. I'll give you a chance to acknowledge any errors or omissions before we adopt. Hearing none, as I look around the table, I'll call for a motion to accept the minutes. Moved by Councillor Fry and seconded by Councillor Locke. All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. Carried. Business arising, Council. Councillor Randall.
Worship, item number 296. I just happened to notice there, and maybe Director Dalman can help me out on Billard Avenue, the infrastructure updates. It says completed date June the 28th or scheduled completed date. I know it's just still working on it today. Is there anything up to date on that? Thank you.
Councillor Randall, actually, that question would be through our PED development, our PED committee, our PED department, as opposed to Public Works.
I'm going to turn it over to Miss Catherine Power, please. Thanks, Director Dalman.
Hi there. So we had a different schedule put in the package. So it's just a typing error. Councillor Antle, we're looking at probably around the middle of July for the completion of that Capital Works project.
Any follow-up?
I can check the public notice. We do have construction notices on the city's website. So as long as they're there, residents should be aware of it, but I'll double check that for you.
All right. Anything further for coming out of the minutes in June? Hearing none, I'm going to move on, Council. The Planning, Engineering, Development Report, Councillor Rice, please.
Thank you, Worship. On our first item on our agenda tonight is our professional consulting services, sanitary and storm sewer, asphalt curb and sidewalk replacement for Jacqueline Road. The contract recommendation for this one is the background. The committee was advised that the request for proposals for professional consulting services, sanitary and storm sewer, asphalt curb and sidewalk replacement, Jacqueline Road, closed on May the 23rd, 2023. We had 5 submissions were received. So recommendation from Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends that the contract for the professional consulting services, sanitary and storm sewer, asphalt, curb and sidewalk replacement for Jacqueline Road be awarded to WSP E&I Canada Limited for the bid amount of $38,561.63, HST included, and I so move.
It is moved by, excuse me, moved by Councillor Rice. Thank you, Councillor Fry, who seconded the motion. Any comments, Council, or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the approval of the award. All in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 2 on our agenda is our H. Neil Windsor Building, climate change improvements. This is for the Park Shed fuel switching project, credit change order 001. So the background on this one is the committee was advised that the original contract for H. Neil Windsor Building climate change improvements, the Park Shed fuel switching project, was awarded to JMJ Holdings on March 21st, 2023 for the bid amount of $254,641.05, HST included. Due to the change in the easement, and it was advised by Newfoundland Light and Power that the main electrical service entrance to the park shed was relocated to the opposite end of the facility, which was directly outside of the proposed electrical room. So the general contractor, JMJ Holdings, has advised that the city will receive a credit change order on the amount of $9,200, HST included, for the relocation of the electrical service entrance due to the savings and the material and labor. So recommendations from PED, committee recommends that the city accept credit change order 001 from JMJ Holdings in the amount of $9,200, HST included, for the relocation of the electrical service entrance, thus reducing the total contract value to $245,441.05, HST included, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice and again second by Councillor Fry. I think I'm just going to call the question. This is a credit, right? Which is always a bit of good news. All in favor? And those opposed? That's carried too. Thank you.
Okay, Your Worship, I'll pass the second part over to my colleague, Councillor Fry.
That's not very often we have a change order for a credit. Next on our agenda is the building and occupancy permit listing for the period of June the 5th to the 16th. And our committee recommends that the building permits issued for this period, showing a total construction value of $1,240,090, be approved. And as you can see here, there's lots of work happening in Mount Pearl. There's fences and decks and even new buildings, new houses, patio decks, mini split heat pumps, all kinds of stuff. Sheds, and I so move.
Thank you. Moved again by Councillor Fry and seconded this time by Councillor Rice. All in favor? And those opposed? And that motion is carried as well. Thank you.
We also have our building construction permits and occupancy permits here issued as well, as you can see in your kit, and I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Fry, second by Councillor Rice. All in favor to adopt? Thank you. Motion carried.
So our committee also recommends that the following development permits be approved and presented for the period of June the 5th to the 16th. And these are here listed as well. As you can see, there are 3 open air assembly use permits, a building extension, and a change of use to automotive sales. And I so move.
That is part of the previous motion, is it not? Development permit list June 5 to the 16th. I think 4 and 5 are broken down, but they are in fact the same thing, unless I'm misreading this, Councillor. Just a question.
Well, there's on the top part 3, occupancy permits issued. There's one there for Topsail Road to occupy. But then in the item number 4, it's a development permit listing, and those are 5 different ones there.
Okay, so we've approved parts 1, 2, and 3 of the permits, and then we do the development permits. I'll call the question again. Moved by Councillor Fry, second by Councillor Rice. All in favor? And those opposed? Carried. Back to you.
And finally, for us this evening is just for information, we have a capital projects update. And there's a list of active projects throughout the city. As Councillor Antle mentioned earlier, there's the Billard Avenue infrastructure upgrades. We have Spruce Avenue upgrades, which are still ongoing, and those are scheduled to be completed the end of August of this year. We have Old Placenta Road pedestrian underpass remediation, middle of July, Farrell Drive infrastructure upgrades. And those are going to be, well, they're currently scheduled to conclude on October the 31st, weather pending. And also the Smart Accessible Playground, which is scheduled to be completed and open by July the 19th. So there's lots on the go, and that's it for us this evening, Your Worship.
Well, thank you. Did I hear July 19th? That's when we're going to officially open it. And that, I believe, is just leading into City Days. Well done. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much. Going to now turn to Recreation Community Safety. Councillor Antles will take the lead, and Councillor Fry, you're the alternate in Councillor Lane's absence.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's a busy couple of weeks. Number one is our bus services for our summer recreation program. The tender has gone through. And it closed at 2:30 on June the 21st, and there were 3 bids submitted. Based on the bids received and reviewed, the committee recommends approval to award the bus services summer recreation program to the lowest bidder, Executive Taxi Services, with a total cost of $36,162.90 HST included, which is covered within our budget, and I so move.
It is moved by Counselor Antle. Thank you. Seconded by Counselor Fry. Any comments or questions? I'll call the motion. All in favor? And those opposed? That's carried as well. Thank you.
The Aberdeen House Communications Museum, the second installment for the operating subsidy for 2023 is a good thing. The committee recommends approval to release a second and final installment of the Aberdeen House Communications Museum's operating subsidy in the amount of $57,500 as per the memorandum of understanding with the city museum. And this is such a good thing that we do with the city, and the Aberdeen House certainly treats as well. And I so move.
It is moved again by Counselor Antle and seconded, thank you, by Counselor Fry. Comments? Pretty routine transaction. I'll call the question. All in favor? And those counterminded? Carried, thanks.
I'll get it right after a while, yeah. Summer school, well, summer school is out, so. School summer closeout, driver safety, reminders to all drivers to be extra cautious during the summer months as all our children are out and more visible in and around our streets. At times, drivers may often be in a hurry and distracted, which can lead to unsafe conditions for our children. So please pay attention. Number 4, now the fun committee starts. Number 4, our Centennial Park Summer Concert begins in July and August. Every Friday in July and August, join us at Centennial Park right here next to City Hall for a free, family-friendly pop-up concert. There'll be live local entertainers on stage from 12 to 1:30. Feel free to bring a chair, a snack. You can get lunch across the street at the Rocket, weather permitting. And stay tuned for the information on our website and our Facebook page. Nothing at the top. Okay, and number 5, something that we all look forward to every summer, is the Winter Carnival in summer. And let's celebrate our city days. It's bursting with opportunities to enjoy everything Mount Pearl has to offer. From concerts to yoga, which I can't wait to see Councillor Rice, family movies, everything in between. There's something for everyone, even the mayor. It's happening from July 20th to the 23rd. So let's celebrate, and you'll visit our website. And if you take a chance, or you get a look at our website, just a couple of things we have going. On Friday night, July 22nd, we have the Friday lineup. We have the Rainmakers, the Bishops, Bowater, Billy and the Bruisers, which we all like to hear, and Brothers in Stereo. Then on Sunday evening, we're going to see the our mega birthday bash, and we're going to start at 5 o'clock with the Reels, then Carolina East, Black Gold, Justin Fancy, the Punters, and the Navigators, just to name a few. So we look forward to seeing everybody out. And that's everything for me, Your Worship. Okay.
That's grand. Looking forward to a nice summer and those, that's quite the lineup for City Days coming up. I'm going to turn now to the agenda again. Corporate Services, Public Works. Councillor Antle, you are the seconder or the alternate on the committee. Over to you, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item for our committee are the invoices for approval. You can see that we have 18 listed there for a total of $802,781.96. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke and seconded by Councillor Antle. Any questions, Council? Any clarifications required? Hearing none. I'll call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried.
Thank you, Mayor. Our second item is the payment registry for June the 8th to the 28th of 2023. And you can see there that it totaled $2,050,255.50. And we're open if you have any questions here. It's listed for council information and our public's information as well. Sorry, I was waiting for your nod, Mayor. Our third item is the tax deferral for low income earners. Our committee is recommending the approval of the following for tax deferral. This, of course, is in accordance with our council's policy for low income earners. You can see that there's 2, 4, 6, 7 listed there, and the amounts requested to be deferred. Again, it's within our policy, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke and seconded by Councillor Antle. Pretty routine piece of business here. Any questions, council? I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Thank you.
And the final item for our committee, Mayor, is the Public Works status report. There's multiple items here, so I won't go through all of them, but with respect to roads, the exciting one is the new kiosk down at Forest Avenue. It looks great. I know our crews have been making it accessible with, some walkways and curb and that. So I think the 14th of July is when we're going to have the ribbon cutting and the 13th of July is when we're going to have the ribbon cutting and the grand opening. And I'm really excited about that particular project because I know it's going to bring a lot of people to that area of our city and the walking trails. So the feedback has been quite positive on Facebook when I shared that. So I'm looking forward to that. Our regular repairs and maintenance is ongoing with respect to curb and catch basins, manholes. You see repairs to our lawns, our fences, the sweepers out for our sidewalks and streets. And of course, our asphalt repairs are ongoing. With respect to our parks, to beautify the city, we're going to have some hanging baskets that'll be delivered to the city and put up this week. It's always a nice addition to the beautification of our city. Work is ongoing in our community gardens. I'm happy to report, Councillor Fry, that the pickleball courts have been installed on Westminster Drive Park. So I think there was a little challenge laid down between the mayor and one of our councillors. So I might live stream that or Facebook Live it when it on goes for the entertainment of our residents. Our sport field maintenance is ongoing. Again, work is ongoing at our Team Gushue baseball field, again, in preparation for the Summer Games of 2025. The commemorative bench program is ongoing. We continue with our cleanup, and our landscaping of our beds around the city is also ongoing. With respect to our fleet, service is always a priority here in the city. That's ongoing, and any older equipment is being auctioned off. With UTM, we got our general calls. Again, we're busy as always for plug sewers, service locates, any new water and sewer service inspections, camera inspections, troubleshooting. We're painting and repairing our hydrants, which is great to see. Our leak detection is always ongoing. Valve exercising is underway in the Pearl Gate East area, and any repairs to storm sewer or water and sewer is ongoing. And the last item for us, of course, is the water levels at Bay Bulls Big Pond as of July 19th. And I fully suspect after today's deluge that we're probably a little higher than what's posted here on the graph, but it's good news. Our water system is healthy and is healthy and at nice levels. But again, that doesn't allow us to let our guard down. We still should continue prudent use of our water as we always do. And that is it for us, Mayor, on our Corporate Services Committee report and Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Fry.
I just had a question regarding the community gardens. I was so happy to see the accessible beds there in place this year. And I'm just wondering, are they all full? Because this is something, I know the accessible beds is something we've been wanting now for the last couple of years. It's great for anybody who has mobility challenges or even in a wheelchair and those with bad backs and that type of thing. So I'm just wondering what the uptake is on that.
I believe all beds are utilized, both accessible and inaccessible.
Well, for the record, thank you for those because I think that's a great addition to the city. Thank you.
All right, good discussion. Got through the committee reports, previous agenda. Welcome back, everybody. Noting that Councillor Lane and Deputy Mayor Kiley couldn't be with us, but we'll meet again now in a week's time. So council, let's do a little roundtable before we wrap up. Councillor Fry to begin.
Thank you, Your Worship. I don't really have much this evening. I was away on vacation and I missed Canada Day, so I was disappointed in that. But I do want to say a thank you to all of those who nominated anybody for the Best in Mount Pearl Awards that's coming up just before our city days. I think it's a great program. And I know it takes, takes a little bit of effort to nominate somebody, but there are so many people in our city that give and they give to make our city better. So to acknowledge them, in my opinion, is something really special. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just want to take a moment just to say thank you to anybody who has submitted a nomination this year, and good luck to all. Thank you.
No, thank you. Well said. Councillor Locke, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I only have a couple as well. Many of mine have been spoken about already through our committee reports, but the Canada Day and Memorial Day celebrations, I just want to extend thanks to our, again, city staff for organizing that. It wasn't a huge turnout this year at the memorial service, but that's understandable given, the long weekend and the first stretch of nice weather that we had. But nonetheless, it was still a lovely ceremony and nice to see all the folks out and the lovely wreaths that were laid. Also, the events for Canada Day, nothing but positive feedback from our residents, lots of smiles and funs and laughter. And again, thanks to, I know Rosie Stead and her team do a great job, and it was very welcomed by our residents. So I just wanted to pass on kudos to all those involved. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Over to Councillor Antle.
There you go. I don't think I have a pulse. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, just a quick kudos to the Canada Day celebrations. Jason and your team, they did a fabulous job. Everything went off without clockwork. I walked around the field. Everybody was so happy, laughing and having fun, and it was a job well done. Next thing I want to bring up, and I'm bringing it up mostly for the benefit of people know that we're looking at it. Yesterday or Sunday, I decided to go for a bike ride in the city of Mount Pearl. I do it a lot, right? And I crossed I went up the trailway here and I went up to Powers Pond. And when I came down trailway, instead of going across the crosswalk at the trailway, which we don't have, we went across the crosswalk there at Commonwealth Avenue, Park Avenue, and Ruth Avenue. And while I was there were 7 people in the lineup. 3 were youngsters. Well, they were all youngsters, I guess. Maybe 3 or 4 of them were about 12 or 14 years old. And they pushed light at the crosswalk. And when it went, they tried to get out into the traffic. In the meantime, there were 7 youngsters on that sidewalk. It was blocked and the traffic was heavy. It was really hard to get by. And 7 youngsters tried to get out. And as they moved out, the walkway was there. And the cars were blowing horns. People were yelling at them and telling them to get off the road. It was their right to be on the crosswalk. The crosswalk right there, it's so busy. You have Commonwealth Avenue, you have Park Avenue, you have Ruth Avenue, and the traffic is so fast. I think somebody's going to get hurt. We have to fix that crosswalk. We're after talking about it in council. And the reason I'm bringing it up now, to let people know in the public that we are concerned. We're trying to fix that crosswalk. The crosswalk down at the trailway, we have to do something there. We're after discussing it multiple times, how we can get a crosswalk there. And I'd like to bring it back to a committee to see how we can do it. When Paradise can do it and St. John's can do it, why can't Mount Pearl do it? Now, I know we have to, and I think we talked about this in committee, and I think maybe it's time that we talk about this in public at great length. Let the residents know that I want something done there. How we do it, I don't know. But right now, some youngsters are going to get knocked down if we don't fix that crosswalk. It was dangerous on Sunday. I couldn't take a picture. I wanted to take a picture to show everybody how bad it was. It's almost impossible to take the turn there. So I'd like to review it, and I'd like, other people's opinion. If we don't fix that crosswalk, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's a priority and we have to move forward. Thank you.
Councillor Fry and then Councillor Locke.
Councillor Antle, are you referring to the crosswalk, the one there by the old Piper's location? So were the children crossing the road where the trailway is, or was it at the intersection?
They were actually crossing at the crosswalk, the designated crosswalk by the city. They pushed the button, the light came on. I'm sorry, I should have been clear. I was a little upset. They crossed the crosswalk where we have a designated crosswalk. They were at the right spot. I was at the right spot. I walked my bike across. They walked their bike across. They did everything they were supposed to do. There was just so much traffic there. And people weren't paying attention. They were right-hand turning. They weren't seeing that there was a walk there. They could walk there. So that's a dangerous place. When you have 7 bikes on that trail, I'd take anybody down there and go up there with 7 bikes and I'd show you, it's very difficult to make that turn. Either we had to widen the sidewalk or fix the crosswalk or put the crosswalk down at the trailway by Pipers. If anybody comes down that trail, you come straight down the trailway. When you come to Commonwealth Avenue, you have to make a right turn and then go up to the crosswalk, which everybody did. And that's the crosswalk I'm talking about. They pushed the button, they waited their turn. So did I. And it was dangerous. Like I was worried for those children. So I crossed the crosswalks until we fixed that crosswalk down by Pipers. I think you're all familiar with the one down by Pipers. Right? There's no crosswalk. Exactly. There is no crosswalk, but when you go down there and you can see multiple people using that crosswalk illegally, till we come up with some kind of solution, Councillor Locke, when I go down and I cross Carwood Drive in Paradise, I cross McNamara Drive in Paradise, I cross Tops Road, and I cross Kingsbridge Road, all are very similar crosswalks. How come we can't find a way to get that? I've been on council 5 years, and it's 5 years I've trying to figure out a way to fix this. And you know, I don't think I can wait. If somebody gets hurt, it's going to be too late. Thank you. I hope I can.
Councillor Locke, please. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you good?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Antle. And I know Councillor Antle has brought this up passionately. But I mean, I bike ride as well, and I always use the crosswalk, the designated crosswalk. There's no crosswalk down there by Pipers, well, I call it the Pipers Mall, but by the mall down there, pardon me, the Trailway. And we discussed this multiple times at committee. The Transportation Association of Canada, the TAC manual, when we did the analysis, the traffic analysis, because of the hill, because of the speed of the traffic coming down Commonwealth Avenue, because of the close proximity to the intersection at Commonwealth, Ruth, and Park, the Transportation Association of Canada manual did not recommend it, actually suggested that putting a crosswalk in there could actually increase the danger and increase the hazard of anyone trying to use a crosswalk down there. We have a fully lit crosswalk up at that intersection. Yes, it may take you an extra 3 or 4 minutes to divert to come up. You can't go directly across Commonwealth Avenue, but we have a fully functioning crosswalk up there. And until it can be proven to me that it's safe to do it, I said it at the meetings, I will not support installing a crosswalk down by that trailway. If the experts tell me that it's unsafe, I am not prepared to install something that can actually increase or enhance risk to our cyclists or our pedestrians that may use that. Now, if the challenge is for the crosswalk that is legit up there, I'm all for exploring that. Maybe it requires a realignment. Maybe it requires a widening of the sidewalk. Maybe it requires extending the sidewalk going up Ruth Avenue. But I'm fully in support of that. But until such time that it can be proven to me that we can put a crosswalk down there, I think we're going to have to wait until we revamp or replace that bridge down there. One of the proposed schematics shows that you could have a pedestrian underpass when we bring in that new trail. Now, that would be a safer solution for me. But until such time, and I know Councillor Antle made reference to other crosswalks where they put in at Carwood or Kingsbridge Road or what have you. But there's other data that go into this. There's sight lines, there's traffic flows. So a crosswalk is not a crosswalk is not a crosswalk. So again, I'll say it until the data can be shown to me that we can install a crosswalk there and do it safely, I'm not prepared to support that. But I fully support investigating the existing legitimate crosswalk. And if we can improve on that to enhance the safety of our pedestrians or cyclists, I'll happily discuss that at committee. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I'm going to go to Councillor Rice, and then I'm going to allow Councillor Antle the opportunity. Like a debate is broken out here, almost like a committee meeting. I think the Councillor Antle's plea was to send this to committee for further review, but I think Councillor Locke and Fry have made the point. We've looked at this a lot of times in the past. But Councillor Antle, I'll give you the last word after Councillor Rice. How's that sound?
There you go, got around. I agree there, Councillor Locke. You know, like when people turn left on Tops of the Road and come down that roadway and they stay in the right lane, it's like a raceway to get from the light on Tops of the Road to the light on Ruth Avenue. See how quick they can get there. But that right turning lane is a big issue up there by the crosswalk because my wife is an avid walker and she walks in traffic like early in the mornings and you know 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And she said to me several times, now you're taking your life in your hands, cutting across Commonwealth, because people come up there in that right lane. They're looking left to see if there's any traffic coming, and they're not looking at the pedestrians coming. And I've seen it there several times myself. So it is. I agree with Councillor Antle. It is a dangerous intersection because we got so much traffic coming in all directions. I mean, you got to come from Park Avenue. Now, I'm sure when we get some of the traffic coming, if we ever get Team Guju completed, we will see some traffic alleviation. You know, it will be less traffic coming up there, and hopefully less traffic coming. Coming down Tops of the Road area, right? But I do agree to certain points, and I mean, like I think we need to revisit it before somebody gets knocked down, either on the main crosswalk itself, and the possibility of doing something down under T-rail. And it's all about safety. I agree. There, it's all about safe measures, and if other if other cities and towns can do it, why can't we look at a reason why we can try to come up with a better solution that we got there now? So that's all I got to say on that. Thank you.
Yeah, committee meetings are breaking out. I'm going to give Councillor Fry the quick opportunity, and then I'm going to come to you, Councillor Antle, and then we're done.
Yes, I was on the Infrastructure and Public Works Committee when this had been discussed previously. And for a number of reasons, it had been decided to not place the crosswalk there at the entrance where the trail is that goes across Commonwealth Avenue. And since then, though, there are so many crosswalks that are very similar in close proximity to all of the reasons why we had originally turned it down. I think it's definitely worth another investigation. I would love to see this go back to PED committee. And like Councillor Rice said, if other municipalities can do it, then we can too. And I'm just curious, the section of the road on Commonwealth where the trailway crosses, I know the trailway goes from downtown all the way out to Paradise CBS. Is that the only location that doesn't have a crosswalk when it crosses the street? And maybe it's something we should look at. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Antle. Now, this is not a committee report, so I'm going to allow you the opportunity to sum up.
It's good discussion, and I'm glad
It's a
we
great
brought it-
discussion. All
it's
yours.
Great discussion, and I brought it up because I want the residents to know we are looking for it, and we're looking at that. And just a quick, Jim, I agree with everything you said. We got to fix the intersection. However we fix it, it's got to be safety paramount, right? Right now, it's not working what's happening now, and I'd like us to go back to the committee and take a look at that. That crosswalk that's there is not working. Fix it or move it. And I talked to another municipality and I asked them about the TAC manual, and they told me they just checked with the legal department. So I'd like to bring it back to the committee and see exactly where it goes from here. And I didn't mean it for discussion to bring up, but I'm glad it's there. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
You finished? I thought it was going to be a short meeting. Actually, it is. No, good stuff. Councillor Rice, the roundtable.
Thank you, Your Worship. I got actually 4 items here, and they're only quick and short. But the first one, I just want to acknowledge some people. Actually, I just want to say first of all that the city of Mount Pearl has always been, a city that other people looked up to, and what are we doing well in here, and because we're always doing stuff well, and in my opinion, the city is a great place to live. I just want to acknowledge a few people, and so the first one is June the 12th to the 16th was Public Service Week here in the city, and I just want to acknowledge Sherry Fitzpatrick and her team and whoever helped organize all the events during that week. Myself and I think the mayor and a few more councillors attended some of them. It was really well organized. And I think everybody appreciated what happened that week. And just want to say thank you. The June the 20th was the Hall of Fame banquet that we all attended. So I want to say a big thank you to all the organizers. A lot of work goes into this, but I just wanted to add that this is a very important event for the city of Mount Pearl. And, you know, we got to put a continued effort into this to make sure this event stays front and foremost with the city, because there's so many people that can go into the Hall of Fame and so many people that needs to be acknowledged. So I'm glad to see that's going in the right direction. Also, I want to say a big thank you to a couple of the councillors. Actually, myself and Councillor Antle attended the Telly 10 road race. And I want to say a big thank you to the city staff who put up all the barricades, and Mr. Dallamont, Director Dallamont and his crew, and Corey Harvey, the crew that went out. They did a tremendous job and they always do good work. So I just want to acknowledge them as well. And I also wanted to add put my feelings forward for the Canada Day celebrations. There was a small crew up there, and I'd like to see actually, because I don't know if it probably wasn't on the social media sites, because I know the Legion Branch 36 runs this and looks after the event. But I'd like to see, more contact with them and have it posted on all the social media sites for the city, because I think it's something that's really, really important to, to keep this thing going for the Beaumont Hamel, recognition of the soldiers that, contributed their life to Newfoundland and Labradorians, and, all the Newfoundland and Labradorians that died that day. It's very important to carry this tradition forward. And so I'd like to see more effort put in the communication part. And I'm sure we will, with the Legion, and make sure it's a well-rounded, well looked at event coming up in the future. Thank you.
No, thank you. All good points. My final comments are about change. And I think we looked at the Sport Alliance award, the Hall of Fame banquet. There's some changes in the offing coming with that event. It's been run by the Sport Alliance for the last, 20, 25 years. It will continue to be run by the Sport Alliance, but in this case, going forward, we're going to see a little bit more direct involvement by the city, and I think that's really good. I think it'll be more relevant. It'll be more on point. And with regards to the Legion and Memorial Day and other events, I think they're in transition as well, just like the Sport Alliance is. They have some new volunteers there in addition to the board, and I know I was chatting with Calvin Smith at the Memorial Day celebration, and he's up to the challenge. He didn't really think he was going to have this, the position of lead, let's say, but he's replacing a person, the late Frank Scurry. He has big shoes to fill. And when he read a speech, let's say, he actually read one of Frank's previous speeches. It was really, really on point and really relevant. So I'm just going to say that, to the people that were there, it was really poignant. It was really from the heart. So those that did manage to attend that day, and weekends are sometimes a little bit of a distraction, but those that attended saw a very, very good ceremony, and they were supported by the city, and they worked hard together. And yes, we never want to forget, lest we forget. And on that note, let's adjourn the meeting on a motion of Councillor Rice, second by Councillor Fry. We are adjourned. Thank you.